Can Serena Williams win Wimbledon 2022? That is the question on everyone's lips. Ranked a lowly 1,204 in the world and without a competitive singles match in a year, Serena Williams will sweep into Wimbledon targeting what would be her greatest triumph. The seven-time Wimbledon champion at the All England Club will also be chasing down a record-equaling 24th Grand Slam title. The odds have rarely been so stacked against the great American, who can become the first unseeded woman to win Wimbledon. With her 41st birthday just around the corner, Williams hasn't played a singles tie on tour since limping out of Wimbledon in tears in the first round against Sasnovich in 2021. "I hope I don't become the last player to have beaten her at Wimbledon," Sasnovich said at the French Open last month. "She is a great champion and I want to see her back." Sasnovich may not be at the All England Club due to the ban on Russian and Belarusian players, but at least she has got her wish for the return of Williams. The American star has been frustratingly stuck on 23 slams since winning a 7th Australian Open in 2017 while pregnant. She was runner-up at Wimbledon and the US Open in 2018 and 2019 as Margaret Court's all-time record of 24 majors remained out of touch. Did I ever doubt I would return? Absolutely, for sure. I would be dishonest if I said it wasn't, and now my body feels great, Williams said on Tuesday after a winning return to the courts in doubles at Eastbourne. "It felt good, but I always try to stay semi-fit, because you never know when you are going to play Wimbledon." Williams remains the last woman to successfully defend a Wimbledon title in 2016, when she played her first Wimbledon in 1998. Current world number 1 Iga Swiatek was still 3 years away from being born. The 21-year-old arrives at the tournament with a second French Open title secured and on a 35-match win streak that equaled Venus Williams' 35 straight victories in 2000 for the longest winning run by a woman in the 21st century. It also bettered Serena's mark of 34, having that 35th win and kind of doing something more than Serena did. "It's something special," said Swiatek. Wimbledon will test her ability to keep the run going, where last year's 4th round was her best performance, even though she was junior champion in 2018. "Grass is always tricky. I actually like the part that I have no expectations there. It's something kind of refreshing," she said. The women's draw remains open, with defending champion Ashley Barty having retired earlier this year. Four-time major winner Naomi Osaka, rarely a serious threat on grass, has withdrawn with an Achilles injury. The Japanese star, the world's highest-earning sportswoman, had already expressed reservations over taking part. She feared the status of Wimbledon had been reduced to that of an exhibition tournament after the ATP and WTA stripped it of ranking points. That was in response to the ban imposed on Russian and Belarusian players in the aftermath of the invasion of Ukraine. 3 of the top 20 women will therefore miss Wimbledon. Aryna Sabalenka, a semi-finalist last year, 2018 quarter-finalist Daria Kasatkina, and Victoria Azarenka, a 2011 and 2012 semi-finalist. None of the top 5 have ever made it to the semi-finals. Ons Jabeur reached the last 8 in 2021. Polar Badosa, like Swiatek, has yet to progress beyond the 4th round. Second-ranked Anett Kontaveit and world number 5 Maria Sakkari have still to get past the last 32. How much of a shock is Williams' return? It has come out of the blue. While Roger Federer has entered events later this year and posted rehab updates as he plans his comeback, Williams has not teased much information over the last few months. There have been the odd sound bites about potentially playing Wimbledon, but nothing confirmed until now, less than 2 weeks before the start of the Grand Slam. The timing is interesting, as Williams could have entered Wimbledon using a protected ranking, which is reserved for players who have been out for over 6 months due to injury. However, that opportunity passed, and she was not included on the entry list last week. Instead, Williams, who is now ranked number 1,208 in the world due to her inactivity over the last year and will fall off the rankings altogether after Wimbledon, where there are no ranking points on offer due to the ban on Russian players, needed a wild card to enter. She was announced as a singles wild card on Tuesday along with Brits Katie Boulter, Jody Burrage, Sane Cardle, Yuriko Miyazaki, and Katie Swan. Williams is not on the initial women's doubles wildcard list, but there are still 3 spots to be filled, while the mixed doubles wildcards will be announced on June 29. What are her chances of winning? Williams is a 7-time singles champion at Wimbledon and still has her eyes on a 24th Grand Slam title, which would equal Margaret Court's all-time record. But is it realistic to expect even one of the all-time greats to compete for a Grand Slam title after 12 months out? It would be one of Williams' most incredible achievements if she did, and she has returned from time away with a ban before. At the 2004 Miami Open, she came back after 8 months out due to surgery and won the title. At the 2007 Australian Open, she was ranked 81 in the world after missing most of the 2006 season due to a knee injury. She beat 6-seeded players and thrashed Maria Sharapova 6-1, 6-2 in the final. And in 2018, Williams made the final of Wimbledon and the US Open, having only returned to the tour earlier in the year after becoming a mother the previous summer. Even before the injury at Wimbledon a year ago, Williams was playing sparingly, putting most of her efforts into winning another Grand Slam title. That approach did not seem entirely successful, as she only made 2 major semifinals in 2020 and 2021. But her experience, especially on grass, would give her a better chance than most of making a successful return. Her last Grand Slam win was at the 2017 Australian Open when she was pregnant with daughter Limpy. She has since lost her last 4 major finals, and her last title was in Auckland at the start of 2020. There's also the chance that Williams has success in doubles, which is less physically taxing than singles. She has won the women's doubles title 6 times with sister Venus, and also played mixed doubles with Andy Murray in 2019. What about her coach? Patrick Mouratoglou has been a regular sight in Williams' box over the last decade as her longtime coach, but he is unlikely to be alongside the 7-time Wimbledon champion this summer. Mouratoglou announced in April that he would be working with former world number 1, Simona Halep, on a full-time basis, bringing to an end his relationship with Williams. Speaking about the decision recently, he said, "I wanted to be fair to her and not be disappointed at the end of my career. I went to ask her what she was going to do. It wasn't very clear to her. I asked her if she wanted to go to Roland Garros. She told me she didn't know. It was 6 weeks before the tour. I told her I was waiting for her on Monday for training, and if she didn't come, I would consider myself free." It appears as though Williams will be working at Wimbledon with her sister's coach, Eric Hetchman. Hetchman shared Williams' comeback post on Instagram and wrote, "So pumped for this trip," with a goat emoji. He also reposted a story from the Ballymoney on Tennis Club saying, "The Serena Williams comeback is on, and with none other than Eric Hetchman in her camp." But why now for Williams? Presumably because Williams fancies her chances on grass as much as anywhere else. It always seemed likely she would skip the clay season, given it has not been her most successful surface, while the faster courts at Wimbledon have suited her game far better. Returning at Wimbledon also gives her the chance to build fitness ahead of a crack at the US Open, which starts on August 29. Williams hasn't lost before the semifinals of her home slams since 2007 and made the final in 2018 and 2019. Last time out in 2020, she was beaten by Victoria Azarenka in the semifinals. Whether this is part of a farewell tour remains to be seen, as Williams has spoken about wanting to have more children, which would take her away from tennis for another long period. Will Williams be one of the favorites at Wimbledon? Yes. Despite her lack of competitive action, Williams will still be fancied to beat most players on grass. Her big serve and strong ground strokes could still be among the most punishing on tour, and she will be well supported by the SW19 crowd. As she builds her fitness, she may also benefit physically from the typically shorter points on grass. Whether her fitness is good enough to carry her through a 2-week tournament remains to be seen. Plus, as a wild card, she can be drawn against anyone, so could face any of the top players, including world number 1, Iga Swiatek, in the first round. But aside from Swiatek, there aren't many obvious strong contenders. Jabeur might be fancied as she seems comfortable on grass, and last year's runner-up Karolina Pliskova has the game to go deep again. Coco Gauff is one to watch after her run to the French Open final. But if Williams can avoid a few dangers in the draw, she could go far. What have other players said about Serena's return? Jabeur says she is over the moon to play with the 23-time Grand Slam champion in ace form. Really lucky that she picked me. I cannot wait to play with her. Such a legend. I always loved Serena, the way she plays, the way she is on court and outside the court. World number 59 Andrea Petkovic said, good for her, bad for us. No, but generally I think it's great for the women's tour. Great news for women's sports. I'm looking forward to seeing her around again. I, however, hope I don't get her in the first round. I think that Sawsome there's still trying and playing, and I'm sure she'll come back super fit. Because I don't think she would try with half fitness to come to Wimbledon. So she must have been working really hard in the past few weeks. Whatever people think, regardless of what other players feel, and irrespective of how well she performs, having her back at Wimbledon will surely be a lift for everyone. Ultimately, time will reveal everything. Do you think Serena Williams will win Wimbledon and draw level with Margaret Court on 24 Grand Slam titles? Let us know in the comments section. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you again soon.